14 years now since terrorists attacked the United States, killing almost 3,000 people on September 11th, 2001. It was one of the deadliest days in the nation's history, and its impact is still being felt today. We begin with CCTV's Jim Spellman, who joins us from our Washington, D.C. newsroom. And Jim, how did Americans mark the 9/11 anniversary today?
Anand, the U.S. President Barack Obama began the day with a moment of silence at the White House at 8:46 a.m. That's the time the first plane hit the World Trade Center. In New York, the names of those killed were read aloud. And in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, a ceremony was held at a new memorial honoring the passengers of the plane that crashed that day. It's believed they stormed the cockpit before it could reach its final destination in Washington. At the Pentagon, the U.S. Secretary of Defense Ash Carter spoke about the U.S. commitment to continue fighting terrorism and the many and honored all those lost that day. Listen.
We cannot fully appreciate how much your lives changed or how much you lost on this morning 14 years ago. We cannot understand how it has felt on every day since, to long for their laugh, to see their smile, or to feel their embrace. We simply cannot comprehend the weight of their absence. But for me, and for so many others at the Pentagon, the weight of their memory and our duty to honor it is something we do carry with us every day.
On the social media site Twitter, never forget was the top trending hashtag all day as people posted stories about where they were on that day and how those events have shaped their lives, Anand.
Jim, it's been 14 years now since the 9/11 terror attacks. How much impact do those attacks still have in the United States?
Yeah, I think it's hard to exaggerate the impact those attacks have had on everyday people here. It really is a day that no one will forget, and just about everyone seems to recall exactly where they were when those attacks unfolded. I think in a way it marks the beginning of an era most Americans would like to move past, but this fight against terrorism shows no signs of being over. The threat has morphed from Al-Qaeda to ISIL. The tactics are constantly changing, but so many of the core issues still remain. September 11th is often compared to the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor that drew the United States into World War II. But 14 years after Pearl Harbor, the war was long over. This war against extremism, terrorism, proving to be much more difficult for the United States to come to terms with, Anand.
Thanks, Jim. That's CCTV's Jim Spellman reporting there.